Hello and welcome. It is me, Adara, and I am live with such a beautiful new friend that I have made here on Vancouver Island. Her name is Gillian Goerzen, and she has written a book called The Elephant in the Gym. And it is unbelievable. She is a health and fitness coach. And I'm so pleased to introduce you to Gillian because she is amazing. Hi.
Hello. What an introduction. Thank you.
Okay, so Jillian, talk to us. Just let's do like a quick synopsis of like who you were before this, because you were kind of like a chubby kid, as you say in your book,
Yeah.
and you weren't very active,
Yeah.
and you sort of like transformed your life.
Yeah. So I grew up feeling pretty uncomfortable in the skin I was in, feeling like I didn't belong, feeling like my body was kind of a problem that I should be always trying to fix. And so much like many women, I spent most of my life on some form of a diet, um, doing fitness endeavors and physical activity endeavors, that like trying things, but nothing ever really stuck for me. Until I found running was one of kind of my initial things. I found running, and I found this community with running that I really connected with. And I really realized I could find health on my own terms. And that was really the beginning of that journey for me, of really accepting my body and honoring my body and being so proud of my body for what it can do. And, you know, fast forward, I got my degree in kinesiology. I was, insatiably curious to learn more about the body and what I could do with it. And so I got my degree in kinesiology, and I got all of my personal training and my group fitness and all these other certifications. And I began to help other people. And I realized that that could actually be my path, that I could be a fitness professional. But then fast forward, and I ended up feeling quite uncomfortable in the fitness industry. I felt like I didn't look like the rest of the fitness instructors. I didn't have a washboard stomach, and I didn't ever foresee myself having one, but still kept on thinking, well, maybe someday I'll have that, and then I'll have cred, right? Like, I don't have cred because I don't have the body. And when I really got past that was when I had kids. And I'd made these two humans, and my body was not the same as it had been before. It was even more different. and and I really got connected to like the gift and the miracle of having a healthy body and what that body's capable of doing. Like, I made two humans, for goodness sakes. Can I give my body some credit where it's due? And that's what's really brought me to where I am now, which is really having a deep and profound respect for my body, and then how that translates into the practices I maintain around my health and my body. So I exercise not because I have to, but because I get to, and because I get to have this expression of movement that really inspires me, and that I get to nourish my body with healthy foods, because that's me respecting and honoring my body.
That's such a
So
beautiful place to be. So,
yeah.
do you help women primarily get to that point where they feel like they can honor their body and
Yeah.
let go of that I should look like, and this isn't
Mm.
right, and this doesn't
Well,
fit?
there's so much we need to let go of. I mean, we're bombarded with all of these messages from media, from marketing, from even social norms that tell us we're supposed to all look a certain way, and specifically that is fairly lean, a certain size, a certain shape, and that changes with the trends. If you like, there's all these the trends around what women should look like, or what is attractive or appealing as a woman to look like. And so we spend so much of our life and so much of our energy devoted to trying to fit into that mold, instead of recognizing it's like, there is no mold for me. I'm my own unique person. And when I always tell clients, I'm like, it makes me sad to think of how much energy as women, and myself included, devote to trying to become something else, instead of trying to really connect into, how do I feel in my body? How can I honor my body? How can I just get out there and live my life? Like, I think about the emotional and mental real estate we invest in working towards being someone else, instead of actually just being us and being really proud of who we are and all we have to offer the world.
Hmm. Did you ever
Mm-hmm.
see that Amy Schumer movie that just came out called
Yes.
Really, or whatever? And
I feel pretty.
I feel pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't really connect with her so much, but what I thought was so interesting is she actually just was so beautiful just being in her body. Like that
Right.
just made her so beautiful. And then at the end, when she went back to being who she was before, she kind of got ugly again a little bit. And I was like, isn't that so interesting how it's
Interesting.
all in our mind and our perception of ourselves? Um,
Absolutely.
how we see things, if we change our perception on how we see things, the things we see change. And so,
Well, exactly that. And it's like you think about the perception we have of our body and where we get those messages of what our body should look like. And it absolutely changes how, and I see this in clients all the time, they get a little bit fitter and they develop some confidence. And then how they carry their body shifts. And they may not have had any like body composition changes, but all of a sudden people are just like, what you been doing? Because the sparkle is there. They're energized. They're more vibrant, and it has nothing to do with their body composition and everything to do with how they feel in their body. You know, for me, the conversation I'm always trying to have with people is, don't tell me what you want your body to look like, because that's kind of here nor there. What I want to talk about is, what do you want to do with your body? How you want to feel in your body? What are
mhm,
the things that matter to you? Because all that body composition, the aesthetic stuff will come
mm,
to a certain degree. I mean,
right, or not.
there's such, or not. And if it
Yeah,
doesn't, can you be okay with that? Could
yeah.
you be okay with this body? Can you love me? There's that Holly Holden quote. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Mm-mm.
But it's like, something about my body whispered and she said, can you just love me as I am? Can you just love me this way? And I think that's, what does loving my body this way look like? It's
Mhm.
not complacent. And I think that's one of the missteps in body positivity. I think this is my opinion, of course, and I could get a little bit in trouble for this one, but I think not a lot of some body positivity kind of takes this slant of almost like, it's taking it too far to the point where we're like, I'm like, eat all the cupcakes. Sure, have the cupcake, but and don't make yourself feel bad or wrong for having it. And also, at some point, we need to honor our bodies health wise too, right? Like, I'm all for own and love your body and also take care of it. Owning and loving your body isn't about eating all the cupcakes and never going to the gym. Owning and loving your body is actually taking care of it in a way that works for you, not like in a punitive, you know, you know, joyless,
Mhm.
pursuit. It's like this, how can I love my body?
Mhm. Mhm. So let's talk a little bit about eating, because I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of communication or just around the kinds of dieting we should be doing, from everything from like keto to vegan. What, mind you,
Yeah.
that's sort of like a conscious thing too, but around low carb,
Yeah.
high fat, like all of
Yeah.
those things, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then it's like A, not sustainable, or B, like you lose your luster for life and excitement around food and the
Yeah.
deliciousness of food. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on
Oh, there's so many. How long do we have?
yeah,
I think that one of the most major missteps we're making around nutrition is that, number one, nutrition is a science. But at the end of the day, what we genuinely know in terms of the science of nutrition and how bodies respond is so little in terms of, every single human on this planet is unique. And so when we have these broad brush ideas of, how we should eat. So say you're going to follow keto or you're going to follow low carb, and you've probably had this experience where you notice two people can take on the same dietary methodology. One person does extraordinarily well with it and their body just feels amazing. And those are the people that they become like the evangelist of that program. They'd be like, everybody should eat this way. It's amazing. And it's amazing for them. But that doesn't mean it's going to be amazing for everybody. So then you see those other people who do the exact same approach and it doesn't work for them. Either it doesn't work for them short term or it doesn't work for them long term. And that's the piece that you kind of just said as you were kind of asking the question, is like, a lot of these approaches, there might be some merit to them. There might even be some great research around them, but are they sustainable for life and specifically for your life? So, if that paradigm of nutrition says you can never have sugar. Well, that might be something that totally works for you. But for most people, it's not sustainable to say, I'm never going to have XYZ, whatever that food product is, ever again. I'm a big advocate of moderation. I'm a big advocate of figuring out the pieces that work for you and not putting a label on it. I don't like the nutrition labels like I'm doing keto or I'm doing low carb or I'm eating paleo. It's like, take the pieces, like be open to exploring and experimenting with valid approaches. So make sure there's some research backing, not just because some chick on the internet said it, but like some actual science behind it. Then try it on and see how it works for you. And then ask yourself, is this something I can sustain for the rest of my life? And if the answer to that question is genuinely no, then you have to question whether or not it's valuable for you to do it right now. Like, is like the short-term gain worth it for you? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like, no, I just need that. Like, I need to kick sugar to the curb for a month as a bit of a reset. And then I'll reintroduce some more sugars to my diet because really that's, real life. So finding the way of doing it that works for you.
Totally. And that's sustainable. Yeah. I think that's so very important.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am on my eating. I do recognize when I go to the fridge and the cupboard for things throughout the day and checking in with my mood and seeing how I want to feel, because I think for me too, I very much adopted the idea of like, what is it that my body really craves? Like not only food wise, but like in its way of being healthy. And so for me,
totally.
Flexibility is huge. So yoga, my practice there, and feeling calm in my body is very important. So that's with my meditation. Feeling like I can run or I could get up and do something, or I have like those bursts of energy, or that I'm strong when I'm like I'm a big lifter. I like to lift stuff. I like to show how strong I am. So I don't want to lose my strength, right? So those are like interesting things that are important to me. But and I recognize too that if I really want to see sort of like fit results, if you will, like where I feel like leaner probably and I'm eating really well, then I need coaching. I need help with that because I'm not follow a plan or whether it's a fitness plan or a health food plan on my own. You can't leave me to my own devices in that capacity. So those are all really good things to know about myself, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think that one of the biggest things we can do around our health is just to simply be mindful, right? And just notice how we're relating to our bodies. How are we relating? Like, so one of the things I talk about with clients all the time is like, what's happening when you step on the scale and how are you relating to your experience? Some people can step on the scale and it's like they see it's just a number. It doesn't mean anything. And it helps them stay in check. For some people, stepping on the scale changes the shape of their day, like emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Like it is non-productive to them to utilize that as a tool. But again, figure out what works for you and then use that as a tool. It's like really understanding how, like you said, you open the fridge and like you notice that you're maybe eating for an emotional state. It's like really noticing that. We do so much of our life in this autopilot that we don't even stop we're so caught up in the hamster wheel that we don't just like slow down, take a breath. Like, what do you need right now? Sometimes one of the questions that I've borrowed from Janine Roth, who wrote the book Women, Food, and God, which I love, is what am I hungry for? What do I need right now? And sometimes the answer is food. Like, am I hungry? Great. If I'm actually physiologically hungry, what does my body need right now to nourish me? And then if I'm not hungry, what am I seeking in the fridge? Am I seeking comfort? Am I seeking entertainment? Am I seeking, like, I always joke that I was raised in a household where we ate for every and any reason, right? So like if we were going to celebrate, we celebrated with food. If we were commiserating, we were commiserating with food. If we needed a pick me up, we pick me up with food. Like it was all food all the time. And so I know where a lot of that stuff of mine has come from. And I think really when you can connect back to the mindfulness practice of being more connected to your body and your states and really understanding how that interplays, I think we can start to break up the kind of the more emotional or habitual kind of the habits we have genuinely around not being present. It's like, how often do you eat in front of some sort of distraction, whether that's a screen, whether that's TV, whether that's a book, a magazine? and you're not, you get to the end of the meal and you're like, you didn't even taste it.
Yeah.
Most of us have had that experience, like, wow, that went really quick. And then we want more because we didn't experience the first time.
Yeah. Good plan. Yeah. Good
right?
idea. Yeah. And also like eating on the go.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And we're all, I mean, our lives are full. I try not to use the word busy right now. But our lives are full. And so I often eat on the go too. But do your best to kind of savor it, enjoy it, experience the food, and really slow, and because that slows you down too, right? Sometimes we eat things so fast that it's actually not, it takes about 20 minutes for your stomach and your brain to kind of have a conversation. So sometimes we eat so quickly that we actually don't give our bodies time to like connect.
Totally.
And when we can actually slow down, we end up not overeating as much.
So I think that's a wonderful thing to take people into the holiday season with.
Just sure is.
Really aware of how they're feeling when they're going for something, the next shortbread or the next slice of turkey, which is totally cool to just those moments too, and not like beat yourself up that you're feeling like feeling about it, but just noticing, just the awareness piece, I think is so
well. And I think really also helping us realize that like your moral compass is not tied to your food or fitness decisions. So if you skip a workout, you're not a bad person. But that's often the language we use. Oh, I'm so bad. I slept in this morning.
Right.
No, you're not bad. You're just, maybe you needed some more sleep. And maybe that's actually what was honoring your body best this morning. Maybe it was you need a kick in the pants and you should get a buddy in check. And like, well, how can you fix that? But again, it's mindfulness, noticing, oh, I'm feeling a little bit of guilt because I skipped my workout. How can I change things next time? What would have gotten me out of bed this morning? Maybe I need to have a buddy at the gym to like get me there. Or, maybe I'm not inspired by my workout right now. I need to find something that's going to make me feel more inspired. And it's the same thing with food. During the holidays, my biggest tip to everybody is just slow down before you take food, breathe, check in with your body. How hungry am I on that scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10? What do I need to satisfy my hunger right now or satisfy my like sometimes we're eating to nourish our souls. It's not just about nourishing our bodies. Like Christmas time's a perfect example of that. And how do we find what's going to satisfy our needs right now? So
I think you should have your own talk show, Gillian. I wonder maybe even if you had like an online gym sort that people could come monthly and learn about different things.
How cool would that be?
That would be very cool. And if you worked with like a really cool producer director on that and made
I don't know, be pretty rad.
Yeah, for the new year, I think that would be amazing.
Maybe spring. We'll see.
Spring. So in the meantime, you guys can get your hands on this book, The Elephant in the Gym. And basically it is just that. It's just I think this beautiful body guide to thinking differently about your body and your fitness regime and what that means to you, and asking and you have this workbook that goes with it too to really ask really great questions. I'm so enjoying this because it's rewiring our brain around what fit is to us, and having a personalized approach to it and not following the crap that we see online.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't know. Well, I just could talk to you all day, obviously, but I hope everyone enjoyed this. I'll put below Gillian's website and the book link as well if you want to grab that for a friend. And what else can I tell everybody?
I think that's it. Yeah, grab a copy of your book. The biggest thing I'm hearing from people about the book is that it's changing their lens. So it's just changing the way they're viewing their health and fitness in a really empowered way. And like, I've had some people like, it's like a light went off for them. And then all of a sudden, like all this baggage they've been carrying for so long, they're just like, I was just able to let that go. Like I just let a whole bunch of stuff go. And I got some pictures from somebody and I've never met her before. She read my book. She's connected with me. And she sent me a picture of her on vacation this morning via Facebook. And she's like, I never would have done this before the book. I never would have enjoyed this the way I'm enjoying it, which is such a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Right? No, I'm really enjoying it too. I can't wait. It's one of my reads over the holidays to finish. So yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Gillian.
Hooray.
I love you're doing, and stay tuned. There's more to come in 2019 of Mrs. Goerzen.
Woohoo.
She is just getting started.
I sure am.
And she's been at this for a while, so.
Thanks for having me. It's been delightful, as always, chatting with you.
Yeah, you as well. Talk soon. Happy Mary.